Today we will discuss about the very first chapter of basic biology, that is the cell. The cell. In lower classes you have studied that the cell is the building block of all living organisms. That means all the living organisms, they are made up of cell. Now the living organisms, they could be as small as an amoeba, that is made up of only one cell, or it could be as big as the blue whale. So giant whale, giant animal, living organism with large number of cells. So all these animals, even the plant that you see around yourself, all these animals as well as the plants, they are made up of cells. Now these cells, they are called the building blocks of the living organism because they make the structure, that is the organism itself, and they help in carrying out all the life process of the living organism. That means, the living organism, they have got certain life process, that is the essential activities that they carry out to survive. So this cell is capable of carrying out all the activities of a living organism. Now, you can compare this. I'll give you a simple comparison. You may be having a single room small house, or you may be having a multi-storied apartment. Now in both the cases, whether you have a single house, small house, or a multi-storied apartment, both the houses, both the buildings are made up of very small blocks, and these are called the bricks. So both the buildings, the small house and the large multi-storied compartment, they are made up of the building blocks. These are called the bricks. Similar is the case of the living organism. However small or big the organism may be, it is made up of cells. Now the question arises, what is a cell? Now we will first define a cell in today's perspective, that is when you come to higher class. What you have learnt in lower class was a very simple definition. We come to the main or the definition that we need to study in higher class. So we say a cell is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. I said structural and functional. It is the structural and functional unit of all living organisms. I'll discuss what is the meaning of the sentence. First come to the word structure. Just take for example an amoeba. It is a microscopic unicellular organism, an organism which is made up of only one cell. Let us say one thing. There are various activities, various essential activities life should carry out. Those activities are nutrition, then you have respiration, you have excretion, locomotion, and so on. So these are the basic activities, basic functions a life should carry out to remain alive. Otherwise, if any of the functions is absent in this organism, in this living organism, the organism will die. So these are the essential activities which have to be carried out by the living organism. So I said structure. I gave an example of an amoeba. Amoeba is a single cell organism, microscopic organism made up of only one cell. Now this amoeba is made up of, when you see this amoeba being a multicellular, unicellular organism, it is made up of a cell, only one cell. Now again take an example of human being. Suppose human being. It's a large organism, it's not made up of large number of cells. So many cells are there. It's a multi-cellular organism. Now human body is made up of large number of cells. So entire body is made up, whichever organ you take. Say for example, you take the skin. When you study the skin, you see the skin is made up of huge number of cells. If you take blood, even blood is made up of cells. RBCs, WBCs, platelets, these are cells. Muscles are also made up of cells. So all the different parts of the body, they are made up of cells. So we say cell is the structural unit of the living organism. That means it makes the organism. It helps in constituting the main body of the organism. Next come to the functional unit. We are talking about the different activities of a life or organism, nutrition, respiration, excretion, locomotion, even reproduction also. So these are the very important activities lives carry out. Now again we are going to the example amoeba and a human being. Take for example amoeba. Amoeba is a living organism. Though it may be made up of only one cell, it's a living organism. Now I said a living organism should carry out all these vital processes, life processes. So amoeba being a unicellular organism made up of only one cell, it also needs to carry out all these activities. Now just think of it. An organism made up of only one cell, that single cell has to carry out all these activities. Yes, amoeba does all the activities, and that single cell which constitutes amoeba can function all these activities. So it is the functional unit. The cell can function all the different activities. Now take the example of human being. We have different organs, we have different parts in our body. Different parts have got different functions. So for example, your muscles will contract. The muscles contract, then only you can move or you can locomote. So these muscles, they are made up of cells. And these cells of the muscles, they have a special function, that is, they help in contraction of the body or the contraction of the muscles, which helps in the locomotion of the body. Now, again we take one more example, digestion. When you take the food, when you eat the food, that food is digested in your body. Now, when the food is digested, it is with the help of certain enzymes that the food is broken down chemically into simpler form, and then it is absorbed by the body. So this digestion is carried out by certain enzymes, and enzymes are again secreted by certain cells which are present in your digestive gland, different digestive glands. Take for example your salivary gland. The salivary gland can consist of certain cells which secrete saliva. So this enzyme which help in digestion. So this cell is the functional unit of all living organism. It can carry out all the functions. It can survive all by itself. A single cell can survive all by itself because it is capable of carrying out all the vital functions. Next, we talk of the. Now we'll talk of the different sizes, different shapes, and different functions of the cell. When I say shapes, the shape of the cell, it could vary according to the function. Say for example your muscles, these muscles need to contract, so the cells are contractile, and because the cells need to be contractile, they are spindle shaped. The muscle cells are spindle shaped. It can contract. When it contracts, you can pull the muscles, you can pull the bones, and then you can move. The cells, again, certain cells which transmit the impulse. Say for example, by mistake you touch some hot object, and immediately that goes to your brain and you retract your hand. That is because this sensation of hotness was transmitted by the nerve from your skin to the brain, and then the brain sent the response to the muscles of your hand, and then immediately you contracted your hand. So this cell, the nerve cell, is elongated. It is elongated. It is, nerve cell could be as long as 1 meter, or even it can go to 2 meters also. So they are elongated, they are long, so that they can easily conduct the impulse from the sensory organs to the brain, and back from the brain it can take the response to the different parts of the body, especially the glands and the muscles. Next we talk about a very important thing. I said all the cells, most of the cells, they are very small. Very small. You cannot see those cells through your naked eyes. Now if you can't see the cell through your naked eyes, how can you study the cell? So we need certain aid. We need an aid to study the cell, and the aid was the microscope. The aid through which we can study the cell is a microscope. Now I'll just give you a brief description about the invention of microscope. This microscope was invented by two scientists, though not together, separately. First was Antony von Leeuwenhoek. Antony von Leeuwenhoek, he was a Dutch scientist. His hobby was to ground glasses and make them into lenses. You know, this is the lens. We have two types of lens. This you will study in physics. The different types of lens, the convex lens and the concave lens. So his hobby was to ground glasses and to make them into lenses. And then he studied different things, different objects under the lens, this lens. So he could see the objects were magnified. That means they increased the dimensions. So the lens that Antonio von Leeuwenhoek invented, it could magnify the things to around 200 times. 200 times. So out of his curiosity, what he did was, he fixed a lens in a metal body. This is a metal body. He fixed a lens here, and then he had a screw. He had a screw. At the bottom of this screw, he could put the specimen of the objects that we need to see under the microscope. So those are the specimens. He kept the specimen here at the bottom of the screw, and he could turn the screw. When he turned the screw, this object it could either go up or down, and he kept his eye here. So from here, he could see the object, and that object was magnified. This is what is called magnification, and this is what is called the simple microscope of Antonio von Leeuwenhoek. This is a simple microscope because it has only one lens, and the magnification was comparatively lower than the other microscopes. So he could see the magnified image of certain things. Later on, a person who was contemporary to Antonio von Leeuwenhoek, contemporary means living in the same division. So he was Robert Hooke. Please to Antonio von Leeuwenhoek, and what he did was, he arranged two lenses together, and now this was called as a compound microscope. What Antonio von Leeuwenhoek had done was using one single lens, so that was simple microscope. Robert Hooke, he arranged two lenses together, and now it was called as a compound microscope. Compound because that microscope gave a bigger magnification, larger magnification, and it was more precise than what Leeuwenhoek used. So this microscope was called a compound microscope. Now what Robert Hooke did was, he arranged two different lenses in a metal body, metal tube, and from the bottom he would reflect some light rays. You know, unless you illuminate an object with light, that object is not visible. So to see an image, to see the object clearly, you need to illuminate that with some light source. So this is a concave mirror. This is a concave mirror, and these are the two lenses. Remember, these are the convex lens. These are the two convex lenses. Here was a concave mirror, and this mirror, it could reflect the light from a lamp. The lamp was put here, somewhere here. So this light was reflected by this concave mirror, and the object was placed in a stage. The stage was fixed, the object was placed there, and this object was illuminated by the reflection of the light from this concave mirror. Now he could see a better image because he had two lenses. You know, lens has a magnifying power. It has a capacity to increase the size of the object. That's called magnification power. So when you use two lenses, of course the magnification will be much more. Is not. So this lens, two lenses, it could magnify the object to around 2000 times. So now this was a better microscope than what Antonio von Leeuwenhoek has invented. So this is called a compound microscope. Now what Robert Hooke did was, he took a thin slice of cork. Cork is actually a bark of a tree. It's a bark of a tree. He took a slice of that cork, put that slice here in the stage, and he observed that under the microscope, the compound microscope that he invented. He was very surprised to see that this gave an image of hexagonal rooms, something like this. hexagonal rooms like this. So this slice of cod, it looked something like this when Robert observed that under the compound microscope. These rooms were compared with the rooms of this hexagonal rooms were compared with the rooms of monastery where the monks live. Monastery is the area where the monks live. You know, monks are the sadhus or the sannyasis. They used to live in a very remote area where the rooms were built and the rooms were similar in structure. So these are the similar structure room, and he compared this with the compartments in the monastery, and then he called these as cells. So it was Robert Hooke who first observed the cell under the microscope, and that was the cell of a cock. Cock cell is a dead cell, remember? Cock cell is a dead cell. So he saw that cells under the microscope and he compared that with the compartments of the monastery and called that as the cell. So he said these cells are the building blocks of the structure that make a living organism. Next is the cell theory. This was all about the cell. I told you what is a cell. I defined you cell, how a cell could be defined, what is the meaning of that definition, then about the short story about the invention of the microscope. Now came the cell theory. You need to remember three names. First is Matthias Sleden, S-C-H-L-E-I-D-N. Please remember the mixed meaning. Matthias Sleden, then Theodore Swan, S-C-H-W-A-N, and third was Rudolf. So cell theory, I'll tell you what is a cell theory, what does it mean cell theory. Before that, just remember the three names of the scientists: Matthias Sleden, Theodor Swan, and Rudolf Virchow. Matthias Sleden, he was a botanist. Botanist is a person who engages himself in the study of plants. So being a botanist, he used to study different types of plants. So when he studied different types of plants, he saw that all the plants, they were made up of very tiny structures, the cells. So he said that the plants are made up of cells. Next was Theodor Swan. He was a zoologist. Zoologist means a person who engages himself in the study of animals. So he studied different animals. When he studied different animals under the microscope, he saw that these animals, again, they were made up of cells. So he said, yes, the plants are made up of cells, even the animals are also made up of cells. So these two statements, plants are made up of cells, animals are made up of cells, these two are the basic part of the cell theory. Later on, another scientist, Rudolf Virchow, he added one more statement. He said that the cells arise from pre-existing cell. What is a pre-existing cell? Suppose if I ask you, all life starts with a single cell. I'll give you an example. Suppose you talk of a seed. When you put that seed in the soil, if you water that seed, if you give sunlight, if the seed gets the sunlight, that seed will germinate into a plant. Isn't it? So a plant arises from a small seed. So where did that seed come from? That seed has come from a flower. It was inside the fruit. Whenever you eat fruit, you see inside the fruit you have a seed. So that seed was inside the fruit, and this fruit is actually the flower. The flower is the sexual part of the plant. This flower, not the flower itself, entire flower, the ovary and the ovule inside the flower, or the flower, they transform into the fruit and the seed. So this flower gets transformed into the fruit and the seed. Now, how does this flower get transformed into fruit and the seed? You have studied pollination. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grain. This pollen grain is in the male flower. It is a male cell. Now these cells are called gametes. Gametes are specialized cells which take part in sexual reproduction. So this pollen grain from the male flower is transferred to the stigma of the female flower by certain agent. It could be wind, it could be water, it could be insect, even human beings, anybody. So this is what is called pollination. So once the pollen grain fall onto the stigma, this nucleus inside the pollen grain, it goes inside the flower. Inside at the bottom of the flower you have the ovule, inside the ovule you have the ovary. sorry, what are the flower has the ovary, inside the ovary you have the ovule, so it goes into the ovary and fuses with the ovule inside the ovule. Now it forms a zygote. When two gametes, the male and the female gamete unite together, it forms a zygote. So this is what is the seed. Now this seed can give rise to a plant. Similarly, in case of human beings, the sperm and the ova, these are the two gametes. The sperm and the ova, they fuse together, and that is called fertilization. After fertilization, they form a zygote. Now this zygote, it continues to divide. It continues to divide to form number of cells. Now the cells become specialized, differentiated. That means this cell, they take up a special function and they form an organism. So this is how I said cells life starts from a single cell. So we are talking about here. Now Rudolf Virchow said all cells arise from a pre-existing cell. Suppose you might have asked, sir, where did this pollen grain come from? There is no certain answer to this. Now, generally we say this pollen grain comes from a pre-existing cell. There was a cell. That cell, it gave rise to this pollen grain. Or suppose there was a cell that gave rise to this ovary and the ovule. So this is what does it mean? A cell arises from a pre-existing cell. We assume that there is a cell, there is already a cell, and that cell gives rise or it form another cell. So all this three together is what is called the cell theory. I'll just revise once more. What is cell theory? I'll just tell you one more. Cell theory, it states that cell is the structural and functional unit of life. I told you what is structural, I told you what is functional. So cell is the structural and the functional unit of life. All living cell organisms, they are made up of cells. And the third is the cell arise from a pre-existing cell. So all these three together, all these three statements clubbed together is what is the cell theory. Next we will come to the different shapes of the cells. Different shapes of the cell. Or first we will talk about the size of the cell. Different sizes of the cell. You know, at the beginning of the class I told you amoeba. Amoeba is a single cell organism. It is made up of only one cell. It is microscopic. You cannot see that through your naked eyes. So it is microscopic. So this amoeba, it is made up of only one cell. So organisms which are made up of only one cell are called as unicellular organisms. Like amoeba. Amoeba is an unicellular organism. Human being, plants outside you see, they are made up of large number of cells. So when an organism is made up of large number of cells, it is called as multicellular organisms, like we human being and the different plants. Now the different sizes of the cell. You know, I told you the cells generally, most of the cells, they are very small. There are some exceptions. I gave you one example, that is the nerve cell. It is a elongated long cell. It could be as long as 1 meter also. Most of the cells, they are very small. Now the smallest cell is of bacteria. It's of a bacteria, and it is so small that it is not visible even through simple microscope. You need some specialized special microscope to see that, and the size is around 0.3 micrometer. This is the dimension of this guy, the smallest cell. Next we come to the longest cell. The longest cell is the nerve cell. Nerve cell, it could go up to 1 meter. Sometimes it can carry from your fingertip to the brain. So this is almost 1 or 1.5 meter. So the longest cell is the nerve cell. Next is the largest cell. Largest cell. Ostrich egg. You know, egg is also a cell. It's a cell, and this cell, it can give rise to a new individual.